Hey everyone, and welcome to our very first YouTube video. We are going to be doing this voiceover style because I have two kids and there's no way you'd be able to hear me if I actually said all of this in real time. So let's jump into it. We're going to be talking about my best detangling tips, and for today I'm going to be using this wet brush that has really flexible bristles. And I'm also going to have this leave-in conditioner nearby as well as a spray bottle. Nora had a ton of tiny little braids in her hair that I just took out yesterday, and I made her sleep without her bonnet on, and she's been running around all day like a wild child. So it's pretty tangled. It's pretty crazy. You can see I'm just going to kind of check it out from every angle, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. So the first thing I'm going to do obviously is spray water. This is like detangling 101. The first thing I always do is spray water, and Nora has really fine hair, but a lot of it's really densely packed together on her head. So I'm really just going at it with the water. You do have to be careful when you're brushing on wet hair though, because it can make your hair a little bit more susceptible to break. So just use a really flexible brush like the one I showed. Okay, my next tip is to detangle in sections. So you're going to see me part her hair here, and I'm just going to start detangling from the bottom, which is the next tip. So always start at the bottom of the hair. You'll see I'm trying to get through the top here and I can't. So I'm just going to go back to the bottom and go back to detangling. Here's a better shot. This is the money tip. Okay, so roll off the hair. So you're going to see me try and go from the top and I can't. I'm going to go back to the bottom and I'm kind of flicking the brush off of the hair. And you'll get another slower view of this later, but just as soon as you hit a snag, just rotate your wrist off of the hair instead of just trying to yank it straight down through the knots. Okay, my next tip is if your hair is really tangled, you might want to finger detangle first. So you can see I'm trying to part her hair and I'm having trouble. So I'm going to put the brush down and just run my fingers through her hair first. And you can see I'm kind of hitting some big knots. Here's one here. Which leads me to my next tip, which is to use your fingers to detangle the really big knots and be really gentle. Sometimes you can just tease them apart, and sometimes, like this huge one, I'm dropping all the extra hair. I have to kind of run my fingers over the knot itself and just gently pull down. So you'll see me do it again. I'm just kind of pulling it apart from the ends, and just take your time because you really don't want to break the hair. And now I'm going to go back in with my brush. A lot of the big knots are out and it's much easier to detangle. So here's a different angle here. This is the third section of her hair that we're going to detangle. And here's a better shot of what I was talking about rolling off the hair. So look, I hit a snag and I roll off. That part is done. So I'm going to move up a little bit on the hair. And I'm just flicking it off. I'm just flicking the brush off. As soon as I can't go anymore, I just kind of roll it off. I rotate my wrist until I don't have to do it anymore, and then I move closer to the root. Best tip ever. And my final tip is when you think you've got all the knots out, go through it a few more times. Just keep brushing, and you'll probably find that you missed a couple of knots, and you'll be grateful that you just kept brushing. So that's it for my best detangling tips. Hopefully this was helpful. If it did help you out, make sure you like and subscribe. Hopefully new videos will be coming up. Share it with somebody that you think might need these tips, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.